Infinity from anywhere. That's Infinity now. Lease the all-wheel drive Infinity QX50 for $379 a month and receive 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance during the Infinity Winter Sales event.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Less than an hour left of 2020. Less than an hour left before the start of a new year. And for most of America, 2021 can't come soon enough. Good evening, everyone. At 11 o'clock on this December 31st, I'm Bill Ritter. Sade has the night off. Take a look at some live pictures from Times Square. It is not what we're used to seeing, not in the least, on December 31st. No throngs of revelers jammed together, shoulder to shoulder, eagerly awaiting the big ball drop to ring in the new year. Instead, the only people allowed to be there in those bullpens, as you can see from Newscopter 7, are the heroes of 2020, the doctors, the nurses, the first responders. And yes, teachers are down there as well. Like always, Ryan Seacrest is there as well. Ryan, Happy New Year to you. We've been watching your show all night. You asked President-elect Biden about his outlook, and from the man who last week said the darkest days are ahead, you got him to say he was optimistic about America and Americans. And watching you tonight, I sense that's your message as well, hopeful.
It is, and I think we're all feeling that way, and we're all very excited about the next few moments leading up to midnight and celebrating the new year. Like you said, it's very different in Times Square, but we're going to try and bring some incredible energy. Jennifer Lopez is going to perform, and we will all ring in the new year together, Bill.
Cyndi Lauper saying about hope. We saw it. It's sort of palpable there. Last time I saw you on TV together, we were talking like this with Kelly Ripa on your morning show. It was my first day back at work, coming back to Eyewitness News after having the virus. I remember it, April 13th. The reality of this year, Ryan, I know you're feeling it as hosting this big event.
Absolutely. We all are, and we all are looking forward to what's to come in the new year. We've been through a tough one, but together we can make it great, and we will in 2021. I'm excited. The ball's dropping soon, and we'll cover it live.
Well, I appreciate you taking time. I know this is your one break through the night, and you spent a couple minutes with us. And Ryan, I really appreciate it, bro. All right.
We'll
Happy New Year, bro.
See you in a few minutes. Bye-bye, Bill.
Take care. As Ryan mentioned, there's still a lot to come of his show, so stay with Channel 7. Ryan will be back here at 11:30. Meanwhile, the scene on the streets of Times Square, because of the pandemic, hardly what we're accustomed to. People told to stay home tonight, and for the third time since the New Year's Eve hoopla began back in 1904, Times Square on December 31st is virtually shut down, with an exception in one small area for first responders and heroes of the pandemic. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza live in Times Square with what's it like there on a very different night tonight. Michael.
Bill, this has been so surreal. I mean, think about it. We are standing in the middle of Times Square with less than an hour before the ball drops, and there is a lot of room to move around. The only spectators, those invited guests, the essential workers that you mentioned, they've been given a front row seat or a front row area to at least view all the action up close as an award for fighting this pandemic.
Everybody look what's going down.
New Year's Eve still rocked on TV with dozens of performers hitting the stage.
Your eyes locked on me.
But in person, Times Square is nearly empty.
It's kind of weird. It's really weird, actually.
For the first time in history, the ball will drop without the general public here to watch it in person.
It's a little bit surreal, as I think you could all imagine, as you look around and you see the most crowded intersection of the U.S. empty.
Hard to sink your teeth into.
I don't like it because I flew a long way to get here. You know, I didn't notice at first, but gotta deal with it.
Organizers invited only 39 families, New York essential workers.
Sometimes we had to hold their hands while they were dying alone. And, you know, I signed up to be a nurse and help people, and this is truly the epitome of that.
To watch the show up close in special pods, honoring them for their fight in the pandemic.
I just thought it was a better time than any. I mean, I needed to come and help out.
Like this ER doctor and his wife who moved from Kansas City to battle COVID in New York.
I'm proud to be here. I feel blessed to be able to provide health care to people that are afflicted with COVID.
Outside barricades expanded the perimeter throughout the night as families dressed up and tried to sneak a peek.
I got a Happy New Year's hat, Nike jacket.
One even passed out pizza to police.
Sure you don't want?
As everyone hunts for a slice of normalcy.
Last year when we were here, packed. We couldn't even walk.
When the ball drops, those wishes of health and happiness in the year ahead will carry extra meaning. As we've learned this past year, hindsight is truly 2020.
I hope in 2021 we feel that. We feel a part of a deep community and that people know that they're not alone.
And we are less than an hour to go. By the way, the headliner tonight, as Ryan mentioned, Jennifer Lopez will take the stage just before the ball drops. That Bronx native helping usher in a much welcome 2021. Live in Times Square, Mike Marza, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
We can watch it. You get to hear it live and in person. Michael, thank you very much. A Happy New Year. This is Pitbull, who's now performing right now in Times Square, part of our ABC and Ryan Seacrest Rockin' New Year's Eve. It looks like we're going to be kicking off, though, 2021 with some rain and some rather chilly temperatures. Bringing it back to the studio, meteorologist Jeff Smith in for Lee Goldberg with his AccuWeather forecast. Jeffrey?
Yeah, Bill, the good news is no rainfall overnight tonight, just the chilly temperatures that you were alluding to. Tomorrow evening, though, there could be some rain. There will be some rain moving in, and that can start as freezing rain north and west of New York City, and that's why we have a winter weather advisory in those areas. Late tomorrow night, right into early Saturday morning, mainly clear skies right now, chilly out there. The storm that we're watching winding up over Texas right now, that'll race off to the northeast and be in our neck of the woods by later on tomorrow. 36 right now in the city, more like upper 20s north and west. Next 24 hours, you start out with sunshine tomorrow morning. Clouds increase. That rainfall begins probably just before dark. Might be mixed with a couple of ice pellets initially. In New York City, farther inland, it'll be freezing rain for a few hours, gradually changing over to rain tomorrow night. And that could cause some slick conditions, especially north and west of I-287. Another interesting weather setup for later in the weekend. We'll detail that in your AccuWeather 7-day forecast coming up. Bill?
Okay, Jeff, thanks. We'll see you in a few minutes. Now to the other news of the night. We're going to begin with those viral videos. Maybe you've seen them already. Wacko bicyclists going violently berserk, attacking a BMW with a man and his mother inside, and then attacking a yellow cab. The two assaults, half a mile and moments apart on 5th Avenue in Manhattan. So far, just one arrest. But tonight, the family of the teenager who's been busted insists he has an alibi and wasn't there at the scene. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan.
Madness of the attack on the car on Manhattan's east side. Shattering the windshield and terrifying the people inside has touched a nerve among people who feel the pandemic has left them more vulnerable to violent crime than ever.
What I heard was, help us, they're going to kill us.
The attack on the BMW, police say by this group of teens who were on bicycles, was preceded by one nearby of a taxi and its driver.
Police have made one arrest in that attack, a 15-year-old boy, but that 15-year-old boy claims he wasn't even in Manhattan when the attack happened. He was here at the Queens Center Mall buying a present for his mother. He says he can prove it, too.
They accuse my son. They say 100% he is the guy, he is the guilty.
The young man arrested as a juvenile, and his parents didn't want him to appear on camera tonight, but his father and brother showed us a receipt from around the time of the incident, and what they said were screenshots from the young man's cell phone tracking apps.
So this basically shows that he was at Queens Center Mall.
And later at a nearby restaurant. So far, none of that seems to matter.
We got to teach our young people better all the time. It's incumbent upon all of us, but we also have to have consequences.
The teenager was arrested at his home and held, his brother says, for 7 hours.
They basically just wanted him to confess for something that he didn't do.
The 15-year-old is still scheduled for a hearing in family court. In Corona, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Also tonight, a sexual assaulter on the loose in Manhattan. New York cops are looking for the man they say knocked on an apartment door today in a high-rise building in Kips Bay. The 27-year-old woman who lives there answered, and that's when the attacker forced his way in, sexually assaulted the young woman, and stole a credit card. It's unclear how the man got into the building. The 4 weeks of December, the deadliest 4 weeks of the year for the coronavirus in this country, and the vaccine rollouts so sloppy and behind schedule. New York Mayor de Blasio now with a New Year's resolution of sorts to vaccinate 1 million people by next month's end. The city prepping to launch new vaccine hubs across the city next month. So far, fewer than 100,000 people have been vaccinated. Speaking of the vaccine, a pharmacist in Wisconsin under arrest tonight, accused of deliberately ruining hundreds of doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Police in Wisconsin say the 46-year-old man purposely removed the doses from the freezer to cause them to spoil, leaving them at room temperature. His motive, still unclear, but authorities believe he knew that spoiled doses would be useless, but people who received them would mistakenly think they'd been vaccinated. Take a look at some live pictures from Newscopter 7. Once again, high above Times Square. This as we count down to 2021 in about 50 minutes. We'll be right back.
At Honda, we take the holidays seriously. Both with serious top performance and serious design. So while others may be rushing to get that last item on their wish list, you could enjoy peace of mind knowing you got a great offer on the best gift of the season. Now's the best time to get into a new Honda. KBB.com's best value brand for 2020. Visit Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer or shop online to get a great offer on the Accord.
Well, you took down the tree. That means it's time to put 2020 in the rear view and get to the final days of the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. It's your last chance for our best offers of the season across the Ford lineup. So hurry in today. The Ford Built for the Holidays sales event ends soon. Right now, lease the Ford Escape SE for $149 a month with eligible trade-in. See more offers at buyfordnow.com.
Confident. Like, so confident I don't have to look in the mirror.
I feel like myself, good jeans will do that.
They're so easy. They look so sharp, but they feel like yoga pants.
I think I wore them every day this week and last week also.
Everything's perfectly proportioned.
So when I put them on, it was a total game changer.
Find your fit at everlane.com.
Now streaming on Disney+.
This is where souls get their personalities before they go to Earth.
I gotta get back to my body. Disney and Pixar present Soul.
It's so good!
Soul is the movie event of the year.
Yes! Woo-hoo!
It's filled with humor and heart. Oh! Okay, I get it. It's Pixar at its very best.
That's what I'm talking about!
Disney and Pixar Soul. Rated PG. Now streaming.
You can get a great deal too at Toyotathon, but it all ends January 4th.
Toyota, let's go places. See ya 2020. ABC7 hopes your new year will be a great one.
Perfect speed. 2020 is winding down. We are about 47 minutes away from 2021. You'll watch it here. Times Square, and like anything we've seen there before on a New Year's Eve. John Del Giorno, above it all, as you can see in Newscopter 7. And John, you're up late tonight.
I am up late, right? Usually I'm getting up in 3 hours.
Yes.
Bill, good evening and Happy New Year. I think you and I have covered this event. I know I've done it just about every year for the last 25 years. And it feels like everyone is different. It's frigid, it's snowing, sometimes it's warm and it's raining. This one, as we've heard everybody say tonight, unlike any other. Normally, Times Square would be packed shoulder to shoulder from 42nd Street all the way up to 57th Street. This is a stark picture right here. Two people just walking down the center of Broadway just, 17 minutes or just 45 minutes before midnight. That's the scene in Times Square tonight. Normally, I'd say we're the best way to watch it. Tonight, we're the only way to watch it. Bill, we're going to stay up overhead, and we're staying up through Rockin' New Year's Eve. Those aerial shots, they'll be coming from Newscopter 7.
Nice.
Live over Times Square, John Del Giorno, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Safe flying and a Happy New Year to you, brother. Jeff?
There's a cool light show going on in the Empire State Building as well. We're taking a look at that. Always nice to see that on New Year's Eve. Temperature 36 degrees, feeling more like 32 out there. Northwest wind coming in about 5 or so miles per hour. You're below freezing at White Plains. You're well below freezing up toward Newburgh and Sussex and Morristown. We take you through a futurecast. In the city, we get down to about 33 by 6 o'clock in the morning. A lot of 20s north and west. Sunny start tomorrow. Clouds rapidly increase, though, during the afternoon. 3 o'clock, maybe some precipitation entering western parts of New Jersey. It's more like around dusk in the city, so around 4 or 5 o'clock. I think it comes in as rainfall city, coast I-95 corridor, maybe mixed in with a couple of ice pellets right at the onset. Now, north and west, it'll be a different story, though. I think you'll get a several-hour period of freezing rain, and that can coat all untreated surfaces tomorrow evening. That's why we have those winter weather advisories north and west in New York City, so be mindful of that. Could be some slick travel off to the north. Even there, though, it goes over to rain as warm air kind of overwhelms the region later on tomorrow night. It's a damp start Saturday, but we get some peaks of sun helping our cause in the temperature department, actually going into the middle 50s, if you believe it, by Saturday afternoon. And then things get interesting by later in the weekend. coastal system will come close enough to give us some rain and not too far inland. This could be coming down as some snowfall by Sunday afternoon, something we'll be watching carefully. We'll take it one storm at a time, though. Clearing and turning colder overnight tonight, 32 Midtown, low to middle 20s in some of the northern suburbs. Cold with early sun giving way to clouds tomorrow. Watch for that rain toward evening, maybe mixed in with a little bit of sleet initially in the city. It's a longer period of freezing rain north and west even there, though going over to rain eventually later on tomorrow night. Temperatures rising up through the 40s late. A damp start Saturday, some peaks of sun, 56 for a high. Chillier with more rain on Sunday. Could be some snow not too far north and west of New York City. Something to watch carefully, 44, and then fairly mild, especially considering the time of year into the early and middle part of next week. Bill, send it back over to you.
Okay, Jeffrey, thank you very much. I want to take another look at Times Square from Newscopter 7. That's just great. We are going to continue to count down the final minutes until 2021. We have 44 minutes left. We'll be right back.
ABC7 and Ridgewood Savings Bank thank you for helping protect our children.
A beloved dog stolen outside a store in Manhattan tonight reunited with its owner. 7-year-old Luca, a long-haired dachshund, taken by a man outside a deli on the Upper West Side earlier this week. Cops say a caller claimed to have spotted Luca in the Bronx yesterday after watching surveillance video on the news. When police arrived, Luca was there alone, no suspect or caller in sight. And tonight, Luca ringing in the new year with his owner. Congratulations, everyone. Sam Ryan, in for Ryan Field. She's up next with sports.
Tonight's sports report is sponsored by BMW. Hurry in to receive a credit of up to $3,500 on select models now through December 31st. Visit tristatebmw.com for more details.
Good evening. The Knicks have a chance to close out 2020 with a winning record. The new-look Knicks have won 2 in a row, a 2-2 record, facing the winless Toronto Raptors on the road in Tampa tonight. Berkeley, bad from three-point range tonight. They went 3 for 36. The starters, 0 for 23. That's never happened before in NBA history. Despite all that, the Knicks were still in it until the fourth. That's when Toronto started to run away with it. Fred VanVleet had a game-high 26 points. Then the really bad news, Julius Randle has been great for the Knicks, but went down with a knee injury, tried to shake it off, but had to come out of the game. We'll wait for word on his condition. 183, the Knicks fall to the Raptors. Well, to football, the Giants are riding a 3-game losing streak into their must-win game against the Cowboys Sunday. There's no question this is a different team when Daniel Jones is healthy. Well, yesterday, Jones admitted his game has suffered since injuring his hamstring over a month ago. An admission Joe Judge would have preferred he kept to himself.
No, look, I read Daniel's comments yesterday, probably a little bit more forthcoming than I would have been with it right there. But as I said yesterday, we'll do whatever it takes to win the game. But again, look, I can't stress that I'm going to always put the player's health in consideration of how we call the game.
Meanwhile, the Jets will take on the Patriots in their season finale. Adam Gase not expected to return next season, but Sam Darnold's future with the team still up in the air.
One day at a time. You know how it is. We're trying to get a win in Foxborough this weekend, and I'll worry about that after the season. I absolutely believe my best days are ahead, and, I'm just going to continue to work and put, like I said, put that work in to be able to get better and improve every single year.
And finally, we send you into 2021 with a bit of good news. Nets star Kyrie Irving has faced plenty of criticism for his handling of the media lately, but one thing he made clear was he wanted to be judged by his actions, not his words. Well, how is this for actions? Kyrie recently paid off the college tuition of 9 students at Lincoln University. It's part of Irving's foundation, which celebrates 11 days of giving each December. Nice. We'll be right back.
What? Next live, All My Children and Hope and Faith reunions.
Watch live
tomorrow morning at 9 on ABC7.
Another look at Times Square. The new year now just more than 32 minutes away, but there's no way to sugarcoat this. This year, 2020, was tough. So much pain, so much loss, so much to overcome. The worst year ever, that's what Time magazine called it. But this year to forget is one that we should never forget, and we won't.
Donald Trump will stand trial in the United States Senate.
We lived through history and impeached president to start the year.
You're impeached forever.
And then in short order,
people just keep coming and coming and coming.
the life-altering virus, suspending their seasons for the time being.
All gyms, movie theaters, and casinos will close for good.
That spread fear over the country and cost so many lives.
Self-quarantine in her home in Manhattan.
We will have more cases.
It also cost lots of jobs, and the economy that seemed strong wasn't.
This is New York in the COVID-ravaged spring of 2020.
We went into a recession, and we're still in it.
And more than 780,000 Americans filed new unemployment claims last week.
All this probably cost President Trump his job. President-elect Biden now facing challenges no new president has ever faced before. But after all this turmoil, perhaps we'd be best served if we remember how in so many ways this also brought out the best of us. Scientists working round the clock to come up with a coronavirus vaccine. Nurses and first responders risking their own lives to try to save others.
It echoes still.
Neighbors gathering every night at 7 o'clock, remember? To make noise outside their windows, all in tribute to frontline workers. Turning a city of sorrow into one of celebration. All this, the acts of kindness and bravery, that's what we have to remember. And all that is what will help us get through these tough times that are most assuredly right ahead of us. There's no two ways about that. And it's why we close every night with a mantra. We wish you health and peace, and take care of each other. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for spending your night together with us tonight as we wait for the ball to drop. Ryan Seacrest helps us ring it in about 30 minutes and 10 seconds with Dick Clark's New Year's Block and Read.